Hello, hello, hello. Good morning sa inyong lahat. Welcome to my FB page. Trading and Risk Management is Ronnie Cayosa. Okay, today is May 5, no, 5-5, 2021. Wednesday, time check 9:34. Open pa lang ng ating market for today. So, as usual, daily updates natin, no, sa ating stock market. Continuous yan using COL uh, and BDO, okay, for our trading and investment. Right? So, basta na po tayo sa ating pagte-trade. Kahit hindi gumagalaw yung ating market for today o pa-dip o pababa ang ating market, kailangan pa rin natin i-update yan. Para at isa alam ng mga tao kung ang right time o yung mga bago, kung ano yung mga right time na pagpasok sa market natin ngayon. Okay, yan. Check ko lang ating gadget para at least alam ko kung gumagana siya. Isa kasi baka salita ko na salita wala naman palang sounds. Anyway, no? So let's move on sa ating unahin naman natin ngayon yung COL. Okay, itong ating trading platform. Palaki natin ng konti. Hindi nakikita. So pwede nyo siyang i-100%, 150 na nga ito, 125%. Okay, so ito yung market natin right now, open at 9:30. So, yan, katatapos lang ng ASIN ng kanyang FOO. So, same price, 683 range, no? At 6 pesos to 7 pesos. So, siya kasama siya active stocks niyan. Asian Green, SM, Ali dito, DNL, ANI, SMPH, and LR, and ARIT. Ito yung mga top active stocks natin for today. And the four gainers, MAB, UPB, IDC, LAND, DDMPR, and AB, PES, AT, SLI, and DNL for our top gainers. And our top losers for today is LCB, ECP, Ever, RCB, ATN, BUL, XLM, TBGI, and FJENG. And sa ating top losers naman. Okay? So, right now, ating market sentiment is nakita nyo, red. No? So, 0.34% down ang ating market or 21.7 points sa ating PSEI. Okay? So, dito tayo ngayon sa latest research. So, medyo hindi natin na-tackle to ng mga past few days. So, take a little notes. So, yung kahapon, tingin lang tayo ng daily notes yesterday. Yan ang ating daily notes kahapon. Okay, medyo palaki natin ng konti. Alright, MBT, first quarter 2020 earnings expanding 27% above earning estimates, no? Above estimates. MBT is Metrobank. So, robust trading gains and low provision drive earnings got. MBT first quarter net income rose at 27.1 year-to-year to 7.8 billion driven by robust trading gains. And, yeah. In the same quarter last year, meanwhile, provisions declined at 50% year-to-year to 2.5 billion, the lowest since the beginning of the pandemic. The first quarter earning outperformed our forecast accounting for 35.3% of our full-year target. On the other hand, lending operations during the first quarter slowed down, with net interest income posting a decline of 11.1% to 19 billion. The first quarter results translate to an annualized ROE of 9.5%. Okay. Maintain buy rate, our buy rating MBT with an FB estimate of 91 pesos, okay, the fair value, based on 1.25 times 2021 PE value. We continue to like MBT as it has a lower exposure to riskier segment, with consumer accounting for 21% of total loans, high NPL coverage ratio at 163%, and the better access to all liquidity given its large CASA deposit. The bank is also front loading its provision in 2020, which should allow the bank to resume its growth faster once economic growth resumes. As its current price, the bank is trading at a step discount versus peer from 6 times 2020 and P ratio, no? PB. Versus BDO 1.1 times and BPI at 1.3 times, despite being better capitalized and having higher NPL cover ratio. Okay. So other news naman, EI net loss widen in fourth quarter 20 missing CL estimate, and SEC sees improvement in earning in fiscal year 2021. GMA ties up with IQE or IQE for global video streaming service. Economy lockdown pushes Philippines April PMI into contraction. Economy net says NCR needs to downgrade to GCQ this May. Okay. And check natin ating COVID update right now. Philippines has 1,062 total cases and a total death of 17,555. And the total recoveries is 975,234. And sa US naman is 33,228,910 cases. And the total death is 591.55 540. Okay, and total recovery is around 25,898,000. And worldwide, we have 154,161,144 with a total death of 3,256,271 and a total recovery of 131,544,859. So the local equities market initially traded higher, but last minute selling caused the index to end up flat as investors remained cautious over the country's economic outlook. The PSA inched down by 1.59 points or 0.2% to close at 6,369.28. The main drugs were URC at negative 3.58%, BPI at 97.97%, and TEL at 8.86%. SEC is also lower at 0.52%, and EMP at negative 51%. On the other hand, the top movers were MBT at 2.87%, GDCAP 1.9%, JFC 1.42%, and AC at 1.15. DMC also as 0.75%. So ito yung mga top movers natin. Volume turnover dropped to 4.4 billion from the 8.6 billion seen in Friday. Meanwhile, net foreign selling increased, all right, to 429 million from 307 million in the net outflows since in the previous trading day. Okay, makabalik ng mga foreign investor natin. Alright, ito yung kanina nating diniscuss na shoutout ko lang kay John Martin Luciano, Senior Research Analyst ng COL. So right now, Metrobank buy at 9.21. So let us check the price of Metrobank right now. Baba lang price natin. Okay, so right now, it has a price of 44.94. Okay. And sabi niya kanina, fair value is 92. Diba? Or 91 pesos. So that's the fair value. Na pwede niyang iangat once na makarecover siya sa price niya. Okay. Something like nandito yan eh. Yan, yung mga itong price niya. No, kung 91 pesos, yan ang price niya. So right now, if you Metrobank has a 44.94 price, no, lagay mo lang is 91, sabi niya by at 91.2 less 44.94. Okay, so na around 46.26 or double your money kung yan ay bumalik sa same price, no? As its fair value. Okay, so yan nga yung sabi nga kanina na recommendation, no, ng ating mga analysts or researchers. Okay. So, alright. So, ayan, tapos na tayo sa ating Metrobank. No? So, makita nyo rin dito yung mga ibang fundamentals ng Metrobank kung gusto nyo lang check. No? Pwede nyo rin check dito sa ating PSEH. No? MBT, sample lang natin, no? Para at least makita nyo rin kung ano yung pwede nyong mabasa, no? About MBT. No? Aside from makita nyo yung kanyang financial report, pati directorship management, you can also see the mga news, no? The company disclosure today. So, yan, wala namang mga bago, no? Actually, yung naglabas lang sila kasi this May, naglalabasan ng mga first quarter income ang mga company. So, let's just check din ang kanyang binibigay na dividend. So, right now, MBT is giving 3 pesos and 1 peso, no, na dividend, cash dividend for this year. Alright, so mababa na yung kanyang price at meron din siyang dividend na binibigay. Okay, so yun yung mga potential, no, na pwede nyo i-long term, lalo kung alam natin kung saan papunta yung kanyang price. At in a span of time, na pwedeng kumita ka ng double. Okay, double your money. Kasi nga, kinumpute natin, di ba? At 91.2 and 44. Right now, 44.85 price. So, makikita nyo na agad yung potential income niya. Okay. Actually, itong price niya is, highest price niya is na around January 18. Okay. So, meaning, okay, in span of 2 years, or more than 2 years, syempre, may na ngayon, no? Yun, bumaba yung kanyang price. So, potentially, kung akit yung price naman niya, can go back at that price, no, 2 or 3 years from now. So, kung mahiling mag long term, pwede nyo gawin yan. Actually, kung nakakuha pa kayo ng lower price yan, 32 price, and then hinayaan mo lang siya na umangat. Aside from meron ka ng dividend, meron ka pang potential price action na makuha rito as your profit, no, potential profit. Alright? So, let's move on, no, sa news, no, na binigay or na ni-research ng CEO. Alright, so EI net loss guidance in fourth quarter of 2020. Mrs. CEO estimate, it books at 1.2 billion net loss in fourth quarter. EI incurred a net loss of 1.2 billion in fourth quarter 2020, larger than the 212 million net loss recorded in third quarter. This brought fiscal year 2020 net loss to 2.1 billion, wider than the COL fiscal year 2020 estimate of 1.1 billion net loss. The worse than expected performance was mainly due to weaker revenue during the quarter, which were not enough to cover the direct cost of its construction operation. So, EEI is a construction corporation, no, di ba? Marami mga nabinbin o natigil ang mga construction project. Okay. Kaya sila bumagsak yung kanilang income. Okay. So, fourth quarter 20 revenues fell by 62.4% year-to-year and 42% quarter-to-quarter to 2.5 billion due to slower construction activities amid the lockdown. This brought fiscal year 2020 revenues to 13.9 billion, down 41.1 year-to-year, accounting for 91.8 billion of CL estimate. Meanwhile, the company recorded negative GP margin of 15.9% in fiscal year 2020 as construction costs exceed its respective sales. Nonetheless, EI continued to book net profit from associates during the quarter, mainly attributed to the strong performance of Al Rashid Construction Company Limited in Saudi Arabia. During fiscal year 2020, EI share net earning from its associate reached to 981 million, 180% higher year-to-year, slightly offsetting loss of the parent company. So buti na meron siyang ah, partnership no sa Saudi Arabia, which is giving them earning para maka ano yung losses, offset yung losses nila dito sa Pilipinas. So construction activities quarter to quarter for quarter revenue fell by 62.4 year to year to 2.5 billion, which is 4.42% lower the quarter to quarter from 4.4 billion in third quarter as EI continued to face work stoppage operational challenges in its construction site. Despite the shift to looser quarantine restriction, it still have several projects severely impacted by pandemic, causing limited mobility and less manpower ng active site. Out of this number of projects, met the rise due to the rising number of COVID-19 cases is nearly areas in which resulted in structured law lockdown measures. As a result, fiscal year 2020 revenue by 41.1% to 13.9 billion from 23.6 billion. All right. So makita niyo yan, no? Importante, lalo kung meron kayong hawak na long term ng EEI. So check niyo yung kanyang fundamental and mga news para at least updated ka parati. Alright? So, ayan. Tuloy nyo lang yung pagbasa, no? Lalo sa may mga stocks ng EI. Now, let's go to Semirara Mining Corporation. SEC or Semirara sees improvement in earning in fiscal year 2021. SEC sees improvement in earning in fiscal year 2021 and SEC announced that it expects earning to recover this year. For the coal mining business, earnings are expected to improve due to higher coal prices and coal production normalized following the water build-up issue in its Molabe mine in December of last year. The earning of SLPGC, Calaca Unit 3 and 4 are also expected to rebound this year due to the highest spot price. However, earning to SCPC Calaca Unit 1 and 2 will likely depend this year owing to the continued forced outage of Unit 2. Management said while SCC net income expected to recover from fiscal 2080, it will not likely return to pre-pandemic level until 2022. Management guide in line with the forecast that SCC earning will increase to 5.6 billion or 71% year to year this year and will return to fiscal 2019 pre-pandemic level of 9.7 billion in fiscal year 2020. Maintaining buy rating, we have buy rating on SEC with the F estimated of 28.6 per share despite the poor earning outlook of the company. We believe that much of the negative news is already priced in. The stock is cheapest among all power companies, trading only at 9.4 times 21 PE based on earning forecast. And check nyo lagi yan yung PE ratio. And capital appreciation is also significant at 129.4 based on our fair value estimate. Right? So, shout out kay George Ching, Senior Research Manager ng COL. No? Ito yung mga tao nag-research para sa atin. And also the research analyst, John Martin Luciano, CFA, Francis Trulfo Nicolas, John Richard Cheng, and Alexander Yu, and Kerwin Malcolm Chan of COL, mga research team. Anyway, sinasabi rito, no, SEC. Pero check mo na nga pala natin, nakalimutan ko lang. No, about EEI, and technical analysis para makita natin. So right now, EEI has the price of 7.40. Yan, yung kanyang price ngayon. But then, ayun nga, coming from the high of 2070 pa man. Actually, last year, yan na. I think kanilang price, no, last year, umabot pa ng piso o 4 pesos. No? Hindi naman. 4 pesos. EI last May, no? Lowest price at 4 pesos and then rebound, okay, and reach the 8 peso level. Right now, they're on the 7.4 average, no? But yun nga yung mga prices before is 11 peso, no? And also on 2017 reached the 15 peso margin. Okay. So yung mga pricing ng EEI. So kung may hawak ka, okay, check mo rin doon dito sa EEI. Definitely Okay, makita naman natin dito kung sila kahit lugi, magbibigay pa rin ng tawag natin dividends and right. So, yun. Dahil nga lugi, wala. Laki ng lugi. Di ba? Makapagbigay ka pa naman ng ah dividends during the time ng ganyan yung situation. So, ano naman yan, understandable naman yan. Ibig sabihin, naintindihan naman siguro ng mga shareholder yan. And the thing is, kung, di ba, kung masyadong mababa na yung price, it's your decision kung if you're going to, di ba, take profit during that time na nakabili ka sa lowest price na to from 490, 429 or 4 pesos range, and then umabot ka ngayon ng mga 7 pesos. That's a 3 peso profit na yan. No? Kung wala ka naman makukuha ng dividends during this time, yan, decide ka lang kung gusto mo siyang ilipat sa ibang company or stocks. Diba? Minsan may mga tao talaga na very loyal dun sa kanilang company or stocks. But sometimes naman, dahil sa iba naman, negosyo talaga itong pinasok nila, talagang kailangan they have to decide whether na ililipat nila sa ibang company na gumagalaw or other investment. Na mamaya meron akong share sa inyo. Kasi kung, di ba, masyadong malikot yung ating market right na, actually, hindi nga malikot. Pababa nga ang niya. Pansin nyo, pababa yung kanyang galaw, di ba, na overall market natin. Hindi pa pala natin na-discuss, no? Yung ating PSE, kita mo, di ba, sideways and on its support right now, no? So, yun. Depende yan kung bababa pa yan once na-hit yung pinaka-mas lowest price niya. Okay. At mag-range siya ng 6,300. Kasi yan yung kanyang pinaka di ba? Support level. Okay, pag reach niya yan, bumaba yan, possible na mag-breakdown siya o bumaba yung pa yung price niya. Okay. Kasi so far, kung makita natin dito sa RSI, bumaba pa rin yung price niya. Okay, so tingnan natin kung saan siya mag-reach out. Alright. Now, another news ulit. Tapusin na natin yung ating news. Yung SEC naman, tingnan din natin yung SEC. Okay. SEC. Semirara Mining Power Corporation. Actually, nagbibigay naman to ng dividends din, no? But right now, I don't know kung makapagbigay sila dahil nga sa yan. So, kahit na bumaba yung price niya, kasi makikita nyo rito ang price ng SCC. Is talaga namang naapektuhan ng pandemic. No? Okay. So, imagine mo yung price niya, umabot pa ng, no? Highest price niya, meron na pa ako, naka-plot na rin sa akin. 49.68 during the time na, actually, halos pareho lang ng EEI kung compare natin, pero mas mataas ang kanyang fair value, no, dito. Maabot siya ng almost 50 pesos. Okay? August 17. No, ito yung kanyang date. So, 15 pesos, 50 pesos, bumagsak siya ng todo, no? Hanggang umabot siya ng 9.32 or 9 peso range. So, yan, nalagay natin, na-plot na natin yan. Meron kang 40.32. No? Ang loss mo dyan, 40 pesos. Okay, and or 80.99% negative ka dyan. Okay, so yung mga nakapag-purchase dito na may kilala ko, no, na sabi ko nga, what's the use of holding yung company kung talaga namang pababa naman yung presyo niya. Dapat dito pa lang i-decide na yan. Okay, dito laki na nga ng nalugi. Hinayaan pang bumaba kasi nga hindi na aralin na pag-aralan kung ano yung potential na puntahan ng price ng company. Dapat yan inaaral yan. Kasi imagine mo 80%. 80%. So definitely naka-hold na yan. No? And then kung umakyat man siya, ayun, walang nakakaalam kung kailan siya aakyat. Pero pag may mga ganitong news, Diba? Potentially na umakit pa rin yung price niya. So, tingnan natin, sinasabi rito. SEC sees improvement in earning in fiscal year 2021 kasi SEC announced that expect earning to recover this year for the coal mining business. Earning are expect to improve due to higher coal price and its a coal production normalized following water build-up issues in Molabe. Ito pala yung nabasa ko na kanina. No. So, maintaining buy rating, we have buy rating of SEC with a fair value estimate to 28.6. Despite the very poor earning outlook of the company, we believe that much of the negative news is already priced in. Stock is cheapest among the power companies and trading only at 9.4 times the 20 PE based on the earning forecast. Capital prices are also at significant 129.4 based on our fair value estimate. So buy at 2060 right now, the price is 12.59. So sabi niya dito ka buy until 2060 na buy kanyang fair value. And the highest price naman niya is around 50 pesos. Okay, so ayun yung kanyang price action right now. Okay, so another news pa. Ito naman, sa GMA7 tayo sa EQ for global video streaming services. So GMA7 and Singapore-based on-demand video streaming service by EQ International have entered a multi-year partnership to bring the network content to the global online video streaming platform. Under the partnership, the GM7 will be able to expand the viewership of its program, while EQ will be able to expand its premium Asia entertainment portfolio. GMA7 Chairman CEO Philippine said that EQ International massive user base will complement the company's digital efforts and adapt to the shifting interests of viewers. Right? So, yan. Good news for GMA7. So, let us see kung ano movement ang GMA7 right now. GMA, the only survivor TV station. Diba? Dapat talaga mag-innovate sila kasi kahit sabihin mo sila lang ang ano ngayon wala silang kakompetensya ngayon baka diba, hindi sila yan. So this is the price of GMA7 right now, no? Coming from low as 5 pesos, no? Ito nag-consolidate lang siya during this last year, no, nung pandemic. Actually nung bandang March, so hindi siya gaano affected pero kasi yung price niya is ranging for 4 pesos lang naman. Okay? So makita mo yung pag-angat niya, no? And actually meron siyang price pa rin na yan, 10 pesos, no? Kanya yung pinaka yung tawag nating resistance level na pinakamataas na resistance level niya. Okay. Yan natin 10 years ng GMA. Okay, GMA7 was listed in 2007. 2007 at the price of, how much is the price of GMA? Opening price of around 97 pesos. 973. No, on the first day, umakit siya agad. Okay. So it's a one month candle to. So let's put on the 1 year candle. Medyo hanapin lang natin yung kanya 2016, 17. Okay. So ito na yung kanyang nag-start siya, no? So that's the price now, around 9 pesos range. Okay, and then umakyat siya until bumaba siya ng 2 years after, no? Nang almost kasi during that time ito na inabot niya agad yung 2008 and 2009, di ba? Yung bubble, no? Yung nangyari sa US, so affected tayo doon Okay, yung price correction 2008. Okay, nag 3 pesos siya and then umabot siya ng kaya makita mo yung price niya, di ba? Up and down talaga siya. Hindi siya yung lang, pababa lang o constant lang o yung Hindi siya umaangat o mataas, diba? Na average lang siya. So 10 pesos, no. So far ay ang pinaka mataas yung price, no. 10 pesos ang pinaka highest price ng GMA 7. Okay, so economy lock nga po is Philippines April PMA into construction contraction. Philippine factory activities now in April as renewed lockdown restriction in Metro Manila and nearby provinces hampered manufacturers operation and damp demand. ISC market for the Philippine Manufacturing Purchasing Manager Index fell to 49 in April from 52.2 in March. Recall the government began 13-quart peak restriction and Metro Manila, Bulacan, Cavite, Laguna, and Rizal in the mid-March to curb a fresh spike in COVID-19 infection. The Modified Enhanced Community Quarantine or MECQ remains in place until May 14. According to ISC Market, the latest data revealed the setback to the Philippine economy with operation condition following by the contraction territory after only one full quarter of growth. Tightening restriction led to another round factory and business closure with output particularly hard hit. Meanwhile, labor force cuts extend in second quarter 2021. The country's PMI construction is contrast the broad improvement in most Southeast Asian nations where they are available, including the Indonesia, Malaysia, and Myanmar. So, ayun po yung nangyari last month. So, siguro alam niyo naman, nagkaroon naman tayo MECQ. And right now, NEDA says NCR needs to downgrade to GCQ, okay, or general quarantine. General Community Quarantine. NEDA Director Carl Kendrick Chua said the Metro Manila needs to downgrade to General Community Quarantine this May. Furthermore, he said the government needs to improve its prevent, detect, isolate, treat, and recover strategy to lower COVID-19 case in the region. Mr. Chua argued the Metro Manila accounts for large contribution to the country's economic performance at 42.6% of the service sector and 20.8% of the industrial sector. Under GCQ, half the business will be able to resume operation and accommodate 30% capacity for revenue and gathering. All right, so ayan po yung ating daily notes. No? So ayan, takal na rin natin yung Netless video. Okay, dito tayo sa tech spotlight today. Ito yung May 5. So, palaki natin ulit para makita. So, PSA step down and threaten support a new, oh boy. Pati sa research, may oh boy. The Philippine Index 6359 slide down in 10 points and renews its jet upon support of its recent base. The index holds support of 6325 shelf. A break of its could knock the index towards its new support, ranging being between 62 to 61. Very weak recovery momentum and decrease its volume, proceed to keep the market leg soft and wobbly and increased chance of the index sliding below its supportive ledge. This is especially too because we are on the fourth test of such low as every added test market is weaker, but the 20-day EMA is now gaining downward influence, suggesting short-term resistance is now getting stronger and see down the trend line along with the 20-day EMA has narrowed the space to which is the PSI rally and with force and decision any moment. Unfortunately, all these technical readings offer great a bias for continued decline. So, raise your guard. Di ba? Oh boy daw. Kasi nga, baka bumagsak pa, no? Doon sa support level niya. From 6.3, support level to 6.2 or 6.1. Ayan na, kaya yung iba nagkaabang lang talaga eh. Pero makita naman, di lang naman tayo affected, no? Yan, Philippine, no? Makita niyo naman dito sa MSCI, PLDT, DGIA, ito. SPI, yan. SP 500 also down at 28, no? Change niya. And Nasdaq, no? 261. Mas malalaki nga itong nila, down na, diba? And Germany at 379.99. Okay, Hong Kong, yan. Medyo mataas ang Hong Kong. And China, slightly down. Okay, and yan. So, ang ating most active say stock by value is Ali, ICT, Accent, SM Converge, D2, MBT, SM, PH, BSC, and DDMPR. Ang DDMPR rate is around 1.90, you know, as reading. Ito mga technical niya. So, hindi ko na di-discuss yan. Right? So, yan ating tech spot. Ito naman, daily notes ulit. No? It's as of the moment, yung pinakabago. Okay, Ali, first quarter 2021 profit disappoints despite gains from Qualimed sales. Okay. Ito May 5 na tayo. First quarter 2021 profit growth at 17.8 quarter to quarter. Ali's net income up. First quarter 2021 reached to 2.78 billion, boosted by 1.3 billion gain from the sale of stake in Qualimed to Parents AC. The implementation of the Create Law also distorted net income earnings for the period of the recalculation deferred tax access. And the corporate income tax rate of 25% resulted in a 508 million write-down reflected in the income tax provision. Operationally, Ali's first quarter performance was lower than both first quarter and fourth quarter, with operating profit of declining 18.2 year to year and 24.8 quarter to quarter due to the lower revenue of Ali's first quarter 2021 net income, even with the gain from the sale of Qualimed, Lagbot, COL, and consensus estimate. So another developer, SMPH, first quarter 21 profit of up to 80.5%. First quarter of 2021 profit recovered from the weak fourth quarter 2020, but still lagged consensus estimate. SMPH first quarter 2021 profit reached to 6.5 billion, implying a growth of 80.5% compared to the previous quarter. Revenue amounted to is 20.8 billion, which is 1.9 net income ng SMPH. Ay, pagod magbasa. Minsan talaga basahin, di ba? And actually, eto mga importanteng notes to, no, na binibigay ng COL, free. Free na yan, no? Meaning kasama na doon sa paggamit natin ng kanilang platform. Iba, ayaw basahin. Siyempre, hindi na lang naman yan. Okay. Ang sa akin lang naman, kung meron kang hawak na ng stocks na ito, kailangan basahin mo talaga yan. Kasi importante yan na makita mo rin yung fundamentals, or baka merong news or na makakapagpaiba ng price niya, kailangan ready ka, di ba? Okay. So, Manila Christian Consensus, basahin lang ng mga Maynilad, Christian New Consensus Agreement. So, may hawak ng Maynilad. Okay, so shoutout din natin yung mga ulit. Si Richard Laneda, Senior Research Manager. Ano ba rito? Richard Laneda, Senior Research Manager of COL, and Senior Research Manager, George Ching. Okay. And Francis Rodolfo Nicolas, Research Corporation. MY, JV Partners Inc., 2.9 billion supply contract for the Malolos Clark Railroad projects. Metro-wide announced yesterday that it signed a subcontract agreement with the Hyundai Engineering and Construction Company Limited and Dong-A Geological Engineering Corporation to supply ready-mix concrete for the construction of Malolos Clark Railways Project, Package 1. Management noted that this 2.9 billion contract provides for the installation of operation concrete batching plant supplies concrete material to the project. They call it the TR issued a notification order for the MCRP package 1 to a Megawide and Korean JV partner last September 18, 2020. As a joint venture will be undertake the building and civil engineering works for 70-kilometer viaduct structure, 7 cantilever bridge, and 2 station building in Kalumpit, Bulacan, and Napalit, Pampanga. Okay. Ito naman yung Mirror Railways, MY. Okay, so done na po tayo dyan. May hinihingal ako ngayon. Okay, so ayan yung ating market for today. Ulitin natin yung ating, di ba? Wala pa rin masyadong movement, no? Wednesday na ngayon, pero down ating market. So, yan, sabihin na, iyan na lang natin from our PSEI index, we have only 12 out of 30, no? 12 out of 30. Okay, top 3 is Ali, JGS, and AP. No? Ireland, JG Summit, and Boitis Power. And top it all, ating overall market, we have only 71 out of 276. Diba? Ayun yung ating gainers. No? Overall market. And then in financial market naman natin, sector, we have 3 out of 9. Sakto lang, no? 3 out of 9. PNB, East West, UBP. Union Bank of the Philippines. PNB, alam na natin, Philippine National Bank. Okay, industrial naman, we have top 20, 28. Ang gain is only 12. Okay. We have DNL, AP, and CNPF. Okay. Holdings. Out of 15, we have only 5 right now with JGC, GT Cup, and AEB. And property, we have out of 13, we have 4 with Alimeg and RLC. Yan, hindi nawawala yung Meg. Di ba? Mega World is still always on the move right now. Mega. Dito na yung click. Yan. So, maliit lang ang kanyang price kung titignan mo, but this is a big no, company because it is owned by Andrew Tan, the owner or franchise of McDonald's in the Philippines, and also the owner of Emperador Brandy. It's a brand name na sa mga alak, no? Mga brandy, Emperador. Okay, and Mega World right now have a lot of projects, especially Condotel, no, in the Philippines. So, kung may makilala kayo na gusto mag-invest, sinabi ko kanina, di ba? So, aside from investing here in Philippine market or Philippine stock market, you can invest also in property, like for example, in Mega World property. Kasi may mga potential income din kayo na makakuha lang sa mga investor when you purchase the Condotel of Mega World. And also, yung syempre property right now, ito yung mga na-hit last year, no? 2021. But the thing is, tuloy-tuloy pa rin, no, sa nilang mga projects. And right now, sabi ko very aggressive kasi ang mga target is mga OFW, migrants, and also foreigner can purchase yung kanilang project. So, yun. Kung may interested kayo dyan, just PM me or just give me a message. Leave me a message. And then I will refer you to a person, right person for the right project. Okay? So, that's Mega World Corporation or MEG. Diba? Now, we have also services. Services out of 24, we have only 4. Diba? Ganun ka, ano ngayon yung market natin, di ba? Nakita niyo na? So, with Globe Telecom, no, at the first, no, GMA 7 and C. So, ngayon C, lumalabas ang C. Chelsea, that's C, Chelsea. Yeah, that's a logistic, no? Just a logistic, for example, sa mga project ng B2. Yeah, Chelsea. Okay, so services, and last but not the least now, mining and oil. Ito, watch out kayo dito sa ating mining and oil. Diba? Right now, ito yung, ano pa lang, siya yung green right now, diba? 6 out of 9. No? Ay nagkakaroon na siya ng movement. No? Yung ibang mga company lang, si SCC and Nickel NPX. Diba? Ito kanina Semirara yung dating diniscuss. Okay. So, yung, normally, no, yung mga ibang company na yan, ayun yung naging top mover. Lalo na 2017. Tama? No. 2015-16. No? During that time, yung talaga yung may mga mining in oil ang nagbo-boom. No? Tapos ang kanilang mga prices. Diba? 16, 7, yan. Kaya nga, diba, kanina, tinek natin yung SCC, ang taas ng price niya during that time. Okay, so biglang bagsak na lang talaga ngayon. Alright, so done na tayo dito sa update natin. And the last natin na gagawin is yung ating video, no? With Mimi. Ayan. Kita mo siya, Chinese siguro to. So meron siyang analysis. Investors should take advantage of dips. Property names have been sold off. Alright, that's a title or topic of Mimi. So let's move on, no, with our last, no, topic on this video review.
It's Royce Aguilar of First Metro Securities. Hi, Royce. Good morning.
Hello, good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Okay, so are you buying into the sell in May and go away, or do you think it's time to be risk on? If you look at the daily volumes below 5 billion pesos per day, it's hard to see how we're risk on. But are you taking a contrarian view?
Well, for us, we continue to tell our clients to take advantage of any dips right now, especially we're seeing a lot of property names being sold off. So we would like them to take advantage, especially they are the opening winners. And we always provide them a point of view that where's the most upside you will get within the next 12 to 24 months. Because if we just take a look at the situation right now, you will be clouded with negative news. But again, we would like to tell our client, we are telling our clients that within the next 12 to 24 months, the situation will likely get better and we should position ahead of that scenario. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we are telling our clients to accumulate at this point.
You did mention the question, what's the most upside that you can get in the next 12 months? Do you have a ballpark figure?
Well, yeah, for our picks right now in terms of upside target prices, you will see a range within 30 to as high as 60%, especially for our consumer discretionary picks. Nevertheless, that's where you will see the most upside, especially the opening winners, because right now they're not being bought up that much yet, because we think investors are still somewhat fearful, and we understand that emotion, but nevertheless, it's something to take advantage of for our clients.
Very interesting, because we've had several guests over the past couple of weeks who said that investors at this point are just too pessimistic, rather, too negative with their view of the market. Do you think that that we might be overpricing the risks and underestimating the opportunities?
Yeah, well, again, as I mentioned earlier, we understand the emotion of several investors. That's why they're pessimistic, because they're looking at the situation right now. This is where we come in to give them that guidance that, of course, you're investing for the long term. You're not investing for the scenario tomorrow, scenario next week. You're investing for what will, go happen moving forward. And that's why we're still betting on the opening winners, and that's because there's value. They're not expensive, so that's our.
Right. So, yan, sinabi nga ni Royce Aguilar, no, from First Metro Sec, na this is the right time to buy, because of the dip ng mga prices. Pa rin na wait and see ng mga not only foreign buyer natin, but also mga local investor natin dito sa Pilipinas. Kasi nga naman, hindi pa rin siyempre makita kung saan ang right timing, kung saan yung pinakamagandang price. Kasi malay mo na bumaba pa siya ng gusto at nakabili ka ngayon nang mababa na nga, bumaba pa ng gusto. So definitely, if you're going for a long-term investment, no, sinasabi nga ni Royce Aguilar, no, na this is the right time to buy for a long-term investment, you have to find out what's the right price, no, and the right time to buy stocks. Okay? So tama naman siya, sabi niya, na mas maganda bumili ngayon, but the thing is, what's the right time, no? What's the right price to buy? Okay, so let's move on.
I imagine they're not expensive. Looking at the broader index, the PSEI just capped 4 months of losses. Year to date, we're down 11%. Our peers have gone ahead to recover sooner. So there, lots of opportunities still for those who want to get in. Let's go over some interesting corporate stories, Royce, from this morning. Before we look forward, let's take a step back and see what happened around 8:30 this morning. Ayala Land actually listing. I think we do have a video of this. Ayala Land listing its 10 billion pesos worth of bonds at the PDS. This happened this morning. Lots of fundraising activities happening. What do you make of this?
Well, yeah, I think they're taking advantage of the rates right now, and it's quite a good strategy because after this they will likely have a better cost efficient structure post pandemic. And I think the data that we gathered last year was that corporate debt was actually better, or meaning lower corporate debt by around 9% last year. That being said, they really have that capacity to spend this year, and they're even borrowing at better rates. So they're supposed to be well positioned post pandemic. So
okay. Okay, let's now go and look ahead. Tomorrow is inflation data day. April inflation seen settling within 4.5 to 4.8% range. The high end there, the 4.8 is actually coming from HSBC. 4.5 to 4.8 versus a 4.5% inflation rate in March and 2.2% inflation rate in April of last year. What are you expecting? What is this market pricing in when it comes to inflation pressure? And are there certain companies or sectors that should be worried about rising inflation, no matter how transitory it is?
Okay. So in terms of inflation, I think for the past months, it will definitely depend on how fast or how slow food inflation will be. If we talk about what happened last month, although it was 4.5%, it was quite lower than expected. That's why the market did relatively better at that time, about a month ago. So in terms of who will be affected should inflation rate rise, again, I think this is where we talk about what the BSP will do should inflation, for example, reach should be out of control, right? So should they increase rates? Definitely, most of the companies will be affected. I think only the financial sector will, relatively do better in that kind of scenario. Nevertheless, higher rates will not benefit in terms of stock market valuations, because once you have higher rates, what will happen to valuation of the companies is it will be relatively expensive. So it will be priced in the market, and it will cap the recovery or the rebound in the stock market moving forward. So definitely right now, although what we think is the priority of the BSPs to support the economic recovery right now. So it will be, should inflation go out of control, probably above 5%, or should there be wage pressures, that could be the reason why BSP could raise rates. But right now, we don't think that will be the case yet.
Okay, not yet at least. How about this? Government debt stock hitting 10.8 trillion pesos as of end March. Does this have an impact on the peso strength or weakness?
Yeah, I think for us, well, what we tell our clients, because of course, you just take a look at the headline news, higher debt That should be concerning and some frustrated. But for us, what we tell our clients is, if you take a look at the credit rating of the Philippines, it's still at the best scenario, right? Which means we can borrow at a very low rate. So that tells us that the government can continue to borrow to support the economic recovery. So that should not be of a concern yet to us. Of course, the concern could be if there are several credit downgrades, but post-pandemic, I mean, right now that's not yet the case. So the government is well positioned to further borrow if they want.
Okay, and if they want and if they need to, how about this? The Philippine Stock Exchange is proposing to exempt REIT shares issued or sold to sponsor companies from the lock-up rule. What do you make of this proposal?
Yeah, in terms of the lockup rule, although it's a sign of easing in terms of investor regulations and the like, and I think it's a sign that the PSU would really like to open up to all kinds of investors, even the ones who initially invested, the early investors of the said company. So I think that's a good sign. Of course, in terms of regulation, what they're trying to be stricter about is in terms of the public flow. But if you take a look at the whole perspective, they're really trying to ease the SME regulations in terms of listing in the PSE. They're trying to ease that as well. So this is one part of them trying to open up investment in the PSE, especially right now in the pandemic. If we compare it to our peers, we don't have that much IPOs, although there are several in the pipeline. But I think there is upside ahead, especially PSE is trying to open up investing in the stock market right now.
For viewers who are not too familiar with the lockup rule for REIT, the rule basically says that shares bought and paid for in full at a price that's lower than the offer or listing price 180 days before the offering period or listing date will be subjected to a lockup period of at least 1 year. That's 365 days from full payment. It's supposed to prevent sponsors from selling their shares via a secondary offering through the IPO, which then does not allow a REIT to comply with the 1/3 minimum public ownership requirement. So that's for context for those who are not too familiar. Moving on to the next interesting corporate story, Aboitiz Land. This is the non-listed property unit of the Aboitiz Group selling 50% of its stake in Cebu Homegrown Development for 609 million pesos to Isidore Holdings. Is this a bad sign when companies start to unload assets?
Not necessarily. I think in terms of what Aboitiz Land is doing, it's mostly in terms of shifting of focus. What they're trying to do is to focus more on horizontal projects. That's what they're trying to do. I think right now, given the pandemic, what the companies are trying to do is to have a more cost-efficient structure and to really focus on which segments which they really see, where they really see upside in. So, for example, in the power business, they're shifting on the renewables, right? So, for the property business, they're trying to shift on the horizontal because that's where they see the most upside.
Okay.
So, if that could help their cost structure moving forward, it will be beneficial for them.
Okay, for news now, we're getting more details about last weekend's Buffett meeting where the Oracle of Omaha shared some market realizations. I think we have a graphics of the things that he shared. He talked about SPAC boom being a killer, the market now feeling more like a casino. So lots of gambling there. Cut exposure to airlines and banks. And he is hoarding cash at $145 billion, keeping dry powder. Do you agree with his realizations, or is there anything in particular from the list that you feel applies to the Philippine market?
Well, in terms of we don't have SPACs, we don't have
Not yet.
special purpose acquisition companies. Um, in terms of like the stock market being a casino, it's probably what he probably meant was, for example, what the Reddit
Saga, yeah.
the Reddit saga, which
The
we
Reddit
don't have that
GameStop
much
saga.
here because we don't have shorting here, so that's not the case here. But probably in terms of casino, probably it's what he's referring to is probably on some crypto names. Again, not applied here in the Philippine stock market yet. So I think that's where he is coming from, and it makes sense if we take a look at the scenario. Nevertheless, what we're seeing right now is the rise of the retail investors, and we welcome that development. But of course, moving forward, we expect that to to have a better regulation in terms of which will benefit both the retail investors and some investors who are afraid that this might be a gambling. So it will normalize soon, but definitely we welcome the rise of retail investing. Definitely underappreciated before. Now it's being seen. So
okay, and now we've come to the most exciting part of the conversation, Roy.
Pa akong sasalita. Nakamute lang pala ako. Okay. Sayang, no? Sa dami ko sinabi. Ulitin ko lang ulit. Sabi niya kanina, no, na nagustuhan ko yung sinabi ni Warren Buffett, no, na 40 years as a investor, no, sa stock market. And yung mga sinabi niya naman, tama naman talaga yon, no, na ang tao ngayon parang nagagambling na. But the thing is, this reality yan, no, na marami nagpa-participate, lalo mga retail trader. And dito nga sa atin wala pa tayong shorting, kaya hindi nangyayari yung ganon, no? Hindi nangyayari parang gambling. Although parang regulated nga yun sa atin kasi nga hindi umaakit yung presyo. So mostly ang mga kumikita lang talaga rito, sabihin na lang natin, no, is mga talagang big player. So yung mga retailer, medyo sumasabay na lang yan sa mga movement. No? But the thing is, pag hindi ka marunong, bago ka pa lang, talagang malulugi ka. Diba? Unlike sa US, no, talaga naman, tagal na yung mga sa kanila yung mga nagtitrade. And then yung mga bago nagtitrade naman is talagang natututo naman along the way. Okay? So yun nga, sinabi ko nga kanina na kung i-regulate mo lang din dito, yung pag-trade, hindi rin kikita yung mga retailer. No, 'di ba? Ang mahirap lang din doon, 'di ba? Wala pa nga tayong shorting, regulated na siya agad. So, mas maganda kung fair lang yung laban, no? Katulad niya nangyari sa US, 'di ba? Sinasabi niya kanina na Reddit o yung tinatawag nating GME, 'di ba? GameStop, no, na talagang pinataas ang presyo from as low as $2 to $3 and then umakyat siya ng almost $500, no? Maraming nakapag-participate doon at kumita, 'di ba? At yun nga lang natalo yung mga hedge fund. Okay, yung mga malaking company na nag-participate doon, even yung Robinhood, no, nagkaroon siya ng issue. So, siguro naman nakita na nila yung power ng retailer. Okay, so na hindi basta-basta. No? At maliliit yan, pero marami, kaya niyang talunin yung mga, nag-shorting, di ba? Kasi shorter, yung mga, talaga na, shorting talaga yung income nila. So, nakukuha nila ang pera or yung income dun sa mga retailer din talaga na hindi alam kung paano mag-trade. No, ng tama. Anyway, last sinabi niya nga rin, no, yung against ako doon sinabi niya sa cryptocurrency na parang gambling. Kasi nga, ayun ang pagkakaalam ng mga tao. No? Parang stock market din yan no, before. Ano ba pagkakaalam sa stock market before? Di ba gambling? Di ba? Sabi ng iba dyan, ayoko ng stock market. Kasi sugal yan Dali nila alam. And right now, just the same din yung happening with cryptocurrency. Okay? So, kung alam lang natin kung ano yung talagang value niyan, siguro din natin sabihin niya. Kasi nga, syempre, yung iba nakafocus lang on stock market. But the thing is, di ba, napakaraming opportunity na dapat tingnan natin para at least we know, kung ano talaga nangyayari in the trading. Kasi trading din yan di ba? Although yung iba hindi alam pa paano mag-trade. Kaya hindi nila sasabihin nila ay gambling. Okay? So last, ito pag-usapan natin yung kanyang
the blind item.
Blind
Talk to us about the
items.
stock that you're monitoring closely and that you like. Don't tell us, just describe. We're going to leave it to our investor viewers to try to guess which stock this is if they want to take advantage of the upside. So what do you have for us this morning?
Well, yeah. So this company is being sold down. Actually, if you're looking at the technical analysis perspective, it's trading at oversold levels. No, not seen since March of 2020. In terms of fundamentals, though, we expect earnings to reach or exceed pre-COVID levels already, mainly because of its international business, right? So specifically, it has its development in China. So it's already contributing as we speak. So that should provide the lift in earnings, providing cushion to what could be the impact on its domestic business.
And what sort of upside in share price are you looking at over the next 12 months, for example? Is this one of those 30 to 60% upside?
Yes, this is one of the higher ones, actually near 60, 70%, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
So, of course, we would further evaluate once first quarter earnings come out. But right now, we see that certain upside around higher 20s.
So we're just going to have to guess which stock this is if our viewers want to take advantage of the 60-70% upside over the next 12 months. Royce, thank you so much for joining us and for your market insights. We hope to speak to you soon.
Thank you. Stay safe.
Thank you and stay safe.
Alright, so dala po tayo sa ating yung pinag-guess niya lang, medyo iniisip ko, ano ba bang stocks yun? May on my mind, no? Parang nakita ko na SEC. Anyway, hindi natin sure, no? Kasi walang price na nilagay. So maganda maghuhula kapag merong price para at least makita natin kung talagang tama yung ating hula. Hula no? Anyway, yan. Tapos na po tayo sa ating ginagawang update for today. Now with the last video, no, come from the ANC. So kasi ANC ang ginagawa nila puro mga interview, no. Kaya talagang masabi natin na it's the right venue, no, when looking for a new for a news, no. Okay. Or sa mga fundamentals na pwede nating matutunan. Okay? So last but not the least, siyempre, no, yung tinatawag nating options, no, sa mga gustong mag stock market investment or trading, sa mga bago, no, if you're decided na, I give you some options na pwede yung pag-aralan. Kung gusto niyo lang, kung ayaw naman, okay lang din. At least, di ba, may pagpipilian kayo. Okay, yung tinatawag natin 3 options na to sa stock market once na talagang gusto mo siyang gawin. No? Number 1, learn to trade, and learn to trade. Bakit yung tatlong beses sinabi kasi it will take you 1 to 3 years to learn stock market trading. No, the fundamental, technical analysis, katulad kanina yung diniscuss nila. Okay, may mga fundamental saka technical analysis that it will help to find a good company and strategies to trade or invest. Okay. So hindi lang kayo manghula o kaya aasa lang sa mga forecast, lalo na sa ibang tao, lalo sa mga kaibigan natin na wala nang ding alam, di ba? Parang na-hype lang. Okay, now if you lose at the beginning of the trading, that's your tuition fee in learning. No? So umpisa talaga, kung wala ka lalong alam mag-trade, no, sumabak ka agad, talagang matatalo ka. Kaya I said, no, simulan ko sa maliit lang. Hindi ka naman malaking pera ang kailangan mo rito. No? Yung iba kasi akala lang malaking pera pagka nag-i-invest. No, yung iba naman kahit malaking pera nila, nalulugi sila dahil wala silang alam, di ba? So mas maganda, start ka ng maliit. No? Maraming broker dyan, no? Mga platform na pwede kang mag-open. And then you start with 5,000, 10,000. Okay, para medyo significant, 20,000 para at least, di ba, pagka nag-start ka, makakapili ka ng magandang stocks habang nag-aaral ka. Okay? Kasi you need to get a mentor, coach to guide you to shorten your learning curve. And the cost of learning as you tuition fee will be minimal. Diba? Kaysa naman nag-self-study ka, okay, and umabot ka ng 3 years, sayang time. Diba? Pero kung gusto mo ng ganun, okay lang, kundi ayaw magbayad. Kaya lang, sabi ko nga, yung matatalo mo o yung mga malulos mo in investing or trading, why not pay to your mentor or coach, no, para at least maturuan ka ng tama. Siyempre, maghanap ka rin ng tamang mentor or coach para at least hindi naman bayad ka lang ng bayad. Okay? And pagka natutunan mo naman to ng tama, yun, long term naman yan, di ba? Yun ang kagandaan. As for me, you know, we're having a program right now, no? Yung mga pag may mentor din, pagko-coach sa aming company na RCRB. Okay, but the thing is, it's only 10 days lang yung ginagawa namin kasi direct to the point lang ang ginagawa namin. Actually, yung ibang matutunan nyo, hindi dito na sa video, no? All you have to do is yung learn more about the strategies, okay, how to trade, how to enter, how to exit, okay, take profit, cut loss, that's everything na direct to the point na matututunan nyo once you start on our program. Okay? So, yun, just PM me if you're interested para at least we can talk about the program itself. Okay. Number 2 naman, invest in a mutual fund or get insurance policy. Okay, dito, hindi mo kailangan mag-trade, no? All you have to do is just give the money for the investment, no? If you don't have time or to learn or watch videos about stock market, you don't want to sit from the computer all the time watching stock market goes, which is a myth. Hindi mo kailangan mo po maghapon dito para matutunan mo siya. Siyempre, sa umpisa, you can take 2 to 5 hours. Depende sa'yo. Para ka nag-aaral lang naman sa school. Pero kung ayaw nga naman, no, you just look for a fund manager, no, para mag-trade ng iyong investment. The thing is, diba, depende sa timing din. Kasi diba, sabi ko nga sa mga previous talk ko, no, may mga mutual fund, no, na pagka natsyempohan mo na mataas na ang presyo, baka dun bumaba yung value ng pera mo. Okay? So, katulad ng friend ko, no, nag-invest ng 5 years ago, no, na mataas ang price, di ba? The price of the investment niya, 1 million. After 3 years, bumaba yung price na, yung value niya. Okay? 40% loss siya on that time. Since 5 years yung kanyang contract, so depende yun sa kanya kung gusto niyo i-terminate contract niya. But the thing is, may mga rules yan no, sa contract. Babayaran niyo yung service fee, and then babayaran niyo rin siyempre yung mga tax, and then kung magkano yung value na ng pera mo, yun na makukuha mo. Diba? Nagbayad ka na, natalo ka pa. Okay? Kasi diyan may ganun talaga, unlimited yung loss mo. Okay, so ang ginawa niya, kinontak niya ako, nag-usap kami regarding that kasi nalaman niya naging stock market ako, and then sinabi ko naman sa kanya ano yung yung stand ko, di ba? Kasi kung mutual fund yan, dito po mo na lang yung 5 years term. Unless na kailangan mo yung pera for emergency, so it's your decision, di ba? Sabi niya, hindi niya naman kailangan, so sabi tutuloy niya lang doon, di ba? After 2 years, na nag-usap kami last January ata yung last nag-usap. January yung after ng 2 years na nag-usap, January nag-usap kami, sabi niya, this January, naka-recover na rin yung kanyang yung investment. So from 40% naging parang 30% na lang. Okay? So meaning 90% na yung kanyang investment value. The problem 100% 90%, 10% na lang kanyang loss, di ba? So, good thing, kaya lang, hindi pa matured. Actually, ang maturity niya this year, August. No? Pero sabi ko sa niya, good, kung bumalik yung presyo, that's good. Kung hindi naman, kung 90% pa rin, mas maganda yan kaysa naman 40%, di ba? Or 60% na lang yung value. Anyway, yung last time nag-usap kami, March, sabi niya, bumaba na naman, naging 80% na naman yung value. So, 20% loss siya. So, meaning, 200,000 kasi yung loss siya, kaya medyo, diba? Pero sabi niya, tanggap niya na. That's a good thing, no? Pagka natanggap mo yung isang bagay na dinesisyonan mo, kailangan tanggapin mo talaga. Okay? So, na bumalik sa 100% o much, magkaroon pa ng counting, kahit sabihin natin 10% na profit, no, bago matapos yung kanyang maturity date. And sana sabi ko sa kanya. Pero you don't know the price, no? Kung anong mangyayari. Okay? And then, kung mangyayari kasi yun, wala siyang babayaran pag natapos niya. Wala siyang babayaran na service fee plus yung tax. Ayun kasi yung mga deal minsan yan, kaya magandang pasukan. Okay? Kaya lang, there's a fund, sabi nga, it's a low risk investment, so you will definitely get low return. So, yun lang difference niya. Diba? Kaysa naman na diba, maliit lang yung, di pagkaralan mo na siya. Or number 2, invest in a retail stock market trader. Okay, look for a trusted retail trader. Ayun yung sinasabi namin kanina, di ba? Yung pinag-uusapan din sa review. No, marami na retail trader, which is true. Marami nang marunong, marami natututo. Iba nga nagtuturo na nga, di ba? Nagko-coach na. Just like me, di ba? Bakit? Kasi we want to share the right thing, no? Hindi yung sa amin lang. No, yung parang isipin namin, di ba? Bahala kayo matalo. Di ba? So, bad naman yun. Mas maganda kung ituturo mo yung natutunan mo. Siyempre, kung ano yung value, no, na natutunan mo, siyempre, yun yung sinasabi natin, babayaran natin, di ba? Kung gusto mo lang, di ba? Yun nga, kung gusto mo mentor o magpa-coach. Now, kung ayaw mo naman, you can invest, no? Look for trusted retail trader na pwede ka mag-invest, na amount of money that you can lose, no? For example, kaya kong ulos ng 50,000, okay? O di invest mo yung 50,000, hayaan mo lang siyang gumana at pag-usapan nyo kung magkano yung magiging percentage nun, di ba? Siyempre, mas mataas yan sa mga mutual fund, di ba? Kasi wala namang binabayaran bills, okay? Parang nangyari, nakibakas ka lang that time. Okay, so most of the traders you see in YouTube, Facebook, or promoting the subscription or ebook or seminars, which is okay. Walang problema yan. Kaya lang, siyempre, alam mo muna kung talaga nag-trade. Kasi maraming minsan na magaling magturo, pero hindi naman marunong mag-trade. May kilala ko niya, marami ako kilala niya. Diba? Ang galing magturo, kabisado niya na lahat. Siyempre, paulit-ulit na ginagawa, diba? Pero dapat yan, tinuturo mo, ginagawa mo rin. Diba? Para at least alam mo kung paano talagang gawin. Kasi minsan may mga emotional trader din, kahit sabi mo alam yung ginagawa niya. So, yun. No? Sabi ko nga, in this time, lot of things happen and people who started traditional business last year, open in March and close in the same month due to lockdown and pandemic. Diba? Kaya yung iba nga nagpaplano na na traditional business mag-open, hindi think twice. Think 100 times, 1,000 times, 1,000,000 times. Di ba? Kasi kung kaya yun, kung kaya mo, no? Kung kaya mo na mag-open ka, then mag-close ka ulit, ewan ko, para magsayang ka lang ng pera. Di ba? Kahit nga walang pandemic, di ba, statistic na yan. No? Out of 100 is around 10 ang nakakasurvive within a year. And in 3 years, 3 lang. Okay? Kung may mga fund pa yan. Okay? Ako sa dami ng pinasok ko negosyo, lahat talagang hindi ko nakayanan, no? Yung 3 years. Pinakamatagal ko siguro 2 years and then after nun. Kumita naman pero diba, hindi nagtuloy-tuloy. The only business that I have done, no, yung tinatawag nating multi-level business or network marketing business na ayaw ng maraming tao. No? Alam nyo ba ang difference ng network marketing sa traditional business? Napakalaki kasi unang-una, wala kang babayaran na pwesto. Okay? Wala kang babayaran masyadong bills. Kung nasa bahay ka lang, siyempre, anong bills mo lang? Internet, ilaw na normal bills naman yan, di ba? Wala kang babayaran tao, di ba? Na, kunyari, mga messenger o kaya yung mga secretary. Wala kang babayaran yan. Okay? So, tapos yung, yung capital mo, maliit lang. Diba? Pati yung inventory mo, konti lang din. Diba? Kailangan mo siyempre inventory. Wala namang negosyo na wala kang inventory, wala ka rin puhunan. Diba? Normally, iba sinasabi, ang negosyo ko yung walang puhunan, laway lang. O, di laway lang di kikitain mo, diba? Pagdahak mo, puro laway pa. So, wala kang ganon, no? Kahit sabihin mo na wala kang nilabas na pera, meron ka pa rin gagastusin. Lalo yung gastos mo sa dati, pamasahe, di ba? Kung real estate yung sinasabi mo, pamasahe, di ba? Pagtitripping, paglo-load. So, may mga gastos pa rin yan. Okay? Now, ba't yung sinabi yon? Kasi I've been doing that for 15 years. Naging bread and butter namin. No? So, talagang naranasan ko rin doon yung hirap din. No? Napagod na nga lang din ako, kaya in-stop ko na rin. And wala akong regret doon kasi talagang marami akong natutunan, marami kami kinita ng wife ko in network marketing business. Kaya yung sa nagsisimula pa lang niya mag-network marketing, ba't hindi subukan? Diba? Kasi naman mag-open kayo ng business na hindi mo rin alam ang mangyayari at ang puhunan mo ay napakalaki. Diba? Pagka nauubos yung puhunan mo, babalik ka sa dating ginagawa mo. Kaya kung utang pa yan, utang din yung negosyo mo. Okay? So now, we don't know what will happen. Totoo lang. For me, if you want to open a business, should be something that you can control. You can control or we can control. No? Ano, may negosyo bang ganon? Yes. Stock market trading and investment is something that we can control if you know what you're doing. So learn to invest wisely. Okay, so may disclaimer lang tayo. Information on this video is for my personal and educational purposes only. I don't recommend buy, sell, or hold stocks. It's your decision to trade or invest in the stock market because it's a high risk that you may lose your capital or your investment. Okay, dana po tayo and promote ko lang po yung ibang mga trading platform na page po natin, trading platform. Ayan, pati trading platform natin, no? So I'm using COL and BDO securities for my trading. An investment, and ito naman ang aming trading and risk management page. So itong may hashtag na sa baba sa description, just click lang yan o kaya lagay nyo sa search, no? Trading and risk management, makita nyo agad yan. It's been engaging for almost ilang month na rin, no? Kasi tuloy-tuloy din naman ginagawa kong pag live dito. Ito yung trading and risk management. And then we have the RCRB trading page, no? It's also a trading, kaya lang international market naman yon. No, ang gamit ko doon is eToro and Interactive Broker, no. So, yung iba kasi gustong umakyat agad doon. Wag. Ako ang ginawa ko naman, in-apply ko lang yung natutunan ko sa local market natin sa PSE. Kasi fundamental in technical analysis just the same, no. Iba lang yung platform, no. So, ako inaano ko lang doon para at least yung natutunan ko doon dito sa local, magagamit ko rin sa international. Pero kung ikaw gusto mo international agad, wag, sayang yung pera mo. Kasi masyadong volatile masyado yung market, no, sa international. And then sa eToro naman, lahat ng mga trading actually doon. No, meron dong cryptocurrency, ayan, stock market, forex, commodities, ang dami. Kaya lang, units lang mabibili mo doon kasi maliit lang po nandun eh. $200, you can start investing. Or if you want, you can, tinatawag natin copy trading. Yung iba na ayaw talaga mag-trade, yung ginagawa na nagka-copy trading. At a little amount, no, sa 10% of your capital, pwede ka na mag-copy trading. Okay. And the last but not the least, yung aking CCL Cryptocurrencies Learning. Ito yung sinasabi ko kanina, no? You have to learn something, no? Kasi pag hindi mo alam, hindi mo talaga magugustuhan yan. Iba yung pagkapananaw mo dyan. Okay, ganun din ako before, 5 years ago. No? But right now, hindi na ako magpapahili pa. No, I have to learn something. No? CCL Cryptocurrencies Learning is more about learning about cryptocurrency. No, hindi lang trading, no, pati staking. And I've been using Binance, no, for this venue, and also crypto.com and Coinbase. So kailangan meron ka kasi mga backup na mga platform. Once na nag-update ng isa, meron ka pang gagamitin. Malam mo, may magandang opportunity during that time, di ba? Hindi ka nakapag-participate. So, yun yung pwede nyong aralin din. No? Kung interesado kayo doon, pag-open, just PM me para at least I can guide you how to open this platform. Okay. And also, yung ating mga ang tubig. May pa yung tubig. Okay. Yung mga account natin, no? Sa social media account, twitter.com, LinkedIn, Reddit, and YouTube. Okay, so ito po yung mga account natin na pwede kayong mag-follow or mag-like para at least mag-engage naman yung ating mga katulad nito, this simultaneous broadcast in Twitter and YouTube. So, isang trabaho na nga lang, di ba? Para at least iba, pwede pa nilang panoorin. It is for all Filipino, no? And kung foreigner ka, hindi mo maintindihan to, maghanap ka na lang ng YouTube or ibang venue, no, na English yung salita. Kasi ako, it's more on Filipino. Gusto kong matuto. No? Kasi mas madali nilang maintindihan pagka same language lang kami. So, nagka-Taglish lang ako. Okay, with that, tapos na po tayo. Done na po tayo for today. No? Time check, 11 o'clock. Okay. And just that, pag-aralan yung maigi ito, learn more, for you to become bigger, brighter, and faster you. So this is Ronnie Cayosa, and see you on my next video. Bye-bye.